Next to the accumulator we can discuss intensifiers. The pressure intensifier or boosters or device used to generate pressure greater than those achievable with standard hydraulic pumps alone. In other words, a hydraulic intensifier is a device which converts a large volume low pressure fluid into proportionally small volume high pressure fluid outlet. The intensifier is usually placed in between the pump and the machine. It takes inlet flow from the pump and intensifies the pressure. The application including hydraulic press, riveting machines, spot welders, etc. It consists of two pistons, low pressure and high pressure pistons having a common piston rod. A large piston is exposed to pressure from a low pressure pump. The low pressure oil forces the piston to move. The smaller end of the piston enters the same force and fluid in the intensifier chamber. Intensifier ratio. So these are the things, pressure into area. We have two sections, so we need to compare such things. We can get desired solution with respect to the sum. Industrial hydraulic circuit, it's a regenerative circuit. Then the industrial hydraulic circuit and loading circuit. Industrial hydraulic circuit, double pump hydraulic system, and hydraulic circuit sequencing cylinder. Sequencing cylinder means, so what will be the priority to the machines that is specified as sequence cylinders. So sequence cylinder means it should be placed or accommodated likewise. So depends upon the requirement. We can place the system. This is the hydraulic circuit, automatic cylinder respiration system. This is it last. Then hydraulic circuit, synchronizing circuit. So this is the air over oil circuit. This is the industrial hydraulic circuit. Fail-safe circuits. Fail-safe circuit means if there is any drawback to be occurred in a few minutes or few certain period of time, you can find out very easily in the prior to the case. How we will find such things means, if there is any leak or unwanted for reactions happen inside the system, we can easily identify, because we are using temperature on side, so heating one side, so it will actually disturb the systems, make collapse much better. So far we have to monitor the system in an efficient way, so we can easily find out, but we could find the value of time off and specific rotation of the problem to be identified. It's very difficult, so that should be considered. This is the fail-safe circuit continued. So these are the fail-safe circuit too. These are the speed control. Okay, how can we control the speed of the system? So that should be ensured. So actually these are the things happen by little. There is stage by stage, or in terms of revolutions. We have plenty of ideas and thoughts to execute the system. So how minimum we can extract and execute the system is the major part. Okay, these are the main things. Then hydromechanical servo valve. Actually, a small force applied on the main spool of shifts it towards right, which allows all the enter through port PT from inlet. So oil from night part port enters P1 and causes the cylinders to retract outwards right. So the feedback link is towards and blocks of the flow to sliding sleeves which shift the sliding sleeves. GPG steve which shifts sliding sleeve. Thus the given input motion has produced a specific output motion, and output motion its feedback to modify the input through feedback line. Hydromechanical servo valve and steering applications. So input force is the turning of the hydraulics, that is steering wheel. Steering wheel movement permits the sliding slip to allow oil from port to the sliding uh, steering cylinder, which in turn moves the wheel through the steering linkage. Since the valve spool is attached to the linkage, it moves along with the linkage. When the valve spool has when the valve spool has moved far enough, it cuts off the flow to the cylinder by blocking the port. As the motion of the cylinder stopped with respect to input force, the steering wheel movement has produced specific circuit motion, and the output motion is feedback to modify the system. So these are the things to be assured previously. So these are the things we have to discuss up to now. We have to know the fundamental, very familiar with such things.